Here are 5 fascinating facts about U.S. elections that highlight the complexity, history, and quirks of the American voting process. I bet you don't know off. Fact number 1. The president doesn't win by popular vote alone. In the U.S., the presidential candidate who wins the most overall votes doesn't necessarily win the election. Instead, it's the Electoral College that ultimately decides. Each state has a certain number of electors, based on its population, who cast votes based on the popular vote in their state. This system has allowed 5 presidents to win the office without the popular vote. Here's a quick look at them. 1. John Quincy Adams, 1824. In one of the most unusual elections, none of the candidates secured a majority of electoral votes, so the decision went to the House of Representatives. Andrew Jackson won the popular vote, but John Quincy Adams was chosen by the House, sparking widespread controversy. 2. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1876. In a highly contentious election, Hayes lost the popular vote to Samuel J. Tilden, but won after a congressional commission awarded him 20 disputed electoral votes. This result came as part of the Compromise of 1877, which effectively ended Reconstruction. 3. Benjamin Harrison, 1888. Harrison lost the popular vote to incumbent President Grover Cleveland, but won the Electoral College. This was largely due to his strong support in swing states, allowing him to secure enough electoral votes to take the presidency. 4. George W. Bush, 2000. In one of the closest elections in U.S. history, Bush lost the popular vote to Al Gore by over 500,000 votes. However, a controversial Supreme Court decision stopped the recount in Florida, giving Bush the state's electoral votes and the presidency. Number 5. Donald Trump, 2016. Trump lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton by nearly 3 million votes but won the Electoral College decisively. His victories in key swing states pushed him over the 270 electoral votes needed to win, despite Clinton's popular vote lead. Fact number 2. Incredibly long campaign cycles. The U.S. has one of the longest election cycles in the world. Presidential candidates often start campaigning over a year before Election Day, with debates and primaries beginning in early spring. This is in stark contrast to countries like the UK, where campaigns can be just a few weeks long. The U.S. system gives voters plenty of time to hear candidates' views, but it also makes the race for president an exhaustive marathon. Fact number 3. Voting is not compulsory. Unlike countries like Australia or Brazil, where citizens are legally required to vote, Americans are not obligated to cast their ballots. This has led to relatively low voter turnout compared to other democracies. In some recent presidential elections, only around 60% of eligible voters participated, despite intense campaigning and advocacy. Fact number 4. Election Day is always on a Tuesday. Since 1845, U.S. elections have taken place on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. This odd timing stems from historical concerns. Early American voters had to travel long distances by horse and needed to avoid conflicting with market days and religious observances. Although it's less practical now, the tradition of Tuesday elections continues. Fact number 5. The faithless elector phenomenon. In the Electoral College, most electors are expected to vote for their party's candidate based on the popular vote. However, faithless electors sometimes go against this expectation and cast votes for someone else. Although rare, these unpredictable electors have occasionally disrupted election predictions. Some states have laws against faithless electors, but in others, it's still a potential wild card in the election process.